The stillness in the living room was suffocating, as if the world was holding its breath while my heart shattered. I stood there, paralyzed, staring at the message on my wife's phone, the screen's glow searing into my eyes. It was from him, her ex. The message read, "Last night was everything. I can't stop thinking about you." The man I had convinced myself was nothing more than a shadow of her past. The man I believed had no place in our future. My thumb hovered over the message, dread pooling in my stomach like ice. How had we ended up here, just weeks before our wedding? That morning, Leah had been glowing. Her laughter filled our tiny apartment as she twirled in the kitchen, flipping pancakes with a flourish. "You're going to love tonight, Nate," she'd said, her hazel eyes shining with a secret that I thought was just playful. "One last wild night before we become boring old married people." I grinned, kissed her cheek, and assumed she was referring to her bachelorette party, a few drinks with her friends, maybe a bar crawl. But now, holding her phone, that memory felt like a blade stabbing through my chest. The signs had been there, hadn't they? Subtle, like whispers I'd chosen to ignore. The way she stayed up late on her phone, her face illuminated by its blue light, claiming it was work. The extra effort she put into getting ready for her girls' night. Her perfume stronger, her dress hugging her figure in a way that seemed meant for someone else's gaze. I had dismissed it all. Leah loved me, she had chosen me, hadn't she? I placed the phone on the coffee table, my hands shaking. The apartment, once a sanctuary of laughter and tangled sheets, now felt cold and foreign. Her keys rested in the ceramic bowl by the door, next to a Polaroid of us at the lake last summer, both of us smiling like we had figured out forever. I wanted to scream, to break something, but instead, I sank into the couch, my mind spiraling. Last night, she had come home at dawn, her hair disheveled, her lipstick smeared. "Too much wine," she had mumbled, collapsing into bed without even showering. I had teased her about dancing on tables, but her smile had been tight, her eyes avoiding mine. Why hadn't I questioned it? Why had I let her slip into sleep while I lay awake, tracing the curve of her shoulder, thinking we were untouchable? The front door clicked open, and my heart skipped a beat. Leah stepped inside, her purse slung over her shoulder, her face flushed from the autumn chill. She froze when she saw me, her eyes darting to the phone on the table. "Nate, you're home early," she said, her voice too bright, like a light bulb on the verge of burning out. "Whose number is this?" I asked, holding up her phone, my voice low but sharp, cutting through the air like a blade. Her smile faltered, and for a moment, I saw something flicker in her eyes, guilt, fear, or maybe defiance. "It's nobody," she said, setting her purse down with deliberate slowness. "Just a friend from work." "Why are you going through my phone?" I snapped, standing up. "Don't lie to me, Leah. I saw the message from him." Her ex's name hung in the air between us, unspoken but heavy, like a storm cloud ready to burst. "What happened last night?" She crossed her arms, her jaw tightening. "Nothing happened, Nate. God, you're being paranoid." But her voice trembled, and her gaze dropped to the floor, betraying her. "Paranoid?" I stepped closer, my pulse racing. "You come home at 5 in the morning, reeking of his cologne, and I'm supposed to believe it was just wine and dancing? Tell me the truth, Leah. What did you do?" Her lips parted, but no words came. The silence stretched thick and suffocating, until she finally whispered, "It wasn't supposed to mean anything." The room seemed to tilt, and I clung to the back of the couch to steady myself. What wasn't supposed to mean anything? My voice cracked, raw with desperation. "What did you do with him?" She sank into the armchair, her hands twisting in her lap. "I saw him last night," she admitted, her voice barely audible. "At the bar. It was supposed to be just the girls, but he showed up. I don't know how he knew I'd be there." Her eyes glistened with unshed tears. "We talked. That's all. I swear." "Then why does he think last night was everything?" I spat, quoting the message. My hands clenched into fists, my nails digging into my palms. "Why can't you look me in the eye, Leah?" She flinched, her shoulders hunching. We danced," she said, her voice breaking. "And then, I don't know, Nate. I was drunk, and he was there, and it felt like I was 20 again before everything got so serious." She buried her face in her hands, sobbing softly. It was a mistake. A stupid, awful mistake. A mistake. The word echoed in my mind, hollow and sharp. I wanted to believe her, to hold on to the version of us that I'd built in my mind. The one where she wore my ring, where we planned a future together. But the image of her with him, their bodies close in that dimly lit bar, her laughter spilling into his ears, clawed at me. Did you sleep with him? I asked, my voice barely a whisper, terrified of the answer. Leia's head snapped up, her eyes wide. No, Nate, she said, her voice shaking. No, I didn't. I swear. But there was a hesitation, a crack in her voice that made my stomach turn. We kissed, she confessed, her words slicing through me. Just once. I stopped it. I left. I came home to you. I staggered back, the room spinning. A kiss. Just a kiss. But it wasn't just anything. It was a crack in the foundation of everything I thought we were. Why? I choked out. Why him? Why now? She stood up, reaching for me. But I stepped back, out of her reach. I don't know, she said, tears streaming down her face. I was scared, okay? Scared of losing myself. Of becoming just someone's wife. He was there. And he reminded me of who I used to be. But I don't want him, Nate. I want you. I love you. Her words felt like a lifeline, but one that was fraying, slipping through my fingers. I turned away, staring at the Polaroid on the table. Our smiles, frozen in time, mocked me. How am I supposed to trust you now? I asked, my voice empty. We're supposed to get married in 3 weeks, Leia. 3 weeks. I know, she whispered, stepping closer. I'll do anything to fix this. Anything. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But as I looked at her, the woman I had loved with all of me, I saw a shadow of someone else in her eyes. Not just her ex, but a version of her I'd never known. The one who longed for freedom, who could slip away into the night and leave me behind. The room felt too small, the air too heavy. I grabbed my jacket and headed for the door. Nate, please, she called, her voice breaking. Don't go. But I didn't stop. I stepped into the cold night, the city lights blurring through the tears I refused to shed. Behind me, the door clicked shut, and with it, the life I had imagined. Somewhere in the distance, a car horn blared, sharp and fleeting, like the sound of my heart breaking. And then my phone buzzed. A new message from an unknown number. She's lying. It wasn't just a kiss. Attached was a photo. Leia, her arms around him, their lips locked in a dimly lit alley, her engagement ring glinting like a cruel afterthought.